The sociopath type number one, the spoiled brat. The spoiled brat has had all the things he wanted from an early age. The spoiled brat has no bit of gratitude. They keep wanting more and more and more. They have a constant void of proving to other people that they better, that there's no one above them. And you would think that their strength or their biggest key to success is their lack of empathy. And I understand that sounds so evil. But these people will manipulate everyone and sleep well at night. They will go through the darkest stuff to have done and comfortably rest and proceed. So that has to be the biggest drive. They have no empathy. They just they crush competition ruthlessly. They're very brutal. No form of care for human life. One thing about the spoiled brat is that they love attention. Is that everything is about them. Everything is about the spoiled brat, man. And it's easy to manipulate them. It's easy to get into their space by worshiping them, false humbling yourself around them, false complimenting them. And when you feed their ego like that, that's when you can easily take whatever you want from them without them noticing, of course. But besides attention, it's ironic, it's very contradictory as to how they love talking about themselves. They love to everything is orientated around themselves. Even when they have families, they don't care that much about their own family. They don't care that much about anything but besides them. And it's surprising how they don't even love themselves. It's surprising how they don't even know who they are. It's very surprising. What they do know is that your attention validates their presence. It's like you gotta feel their presence all the time. And so once they see that you're not praising them somehow, you're not feeding their ego, that's when they just want to make you feel pain. That's when they want to humiliate you, because it's another form of getting your attention since you refuse to give it up. And this comes from childhood. You know, the spoiled brat will get all the toys, but their parents will be at work all day, and he will be with the nanny. The nanny's on her phone. The nanny's busy cleaning, no attention to him. Or he will be around his friends. His friends will be playing a game without losing, and he would lose, and so he would sit on the bench because he lost, and his friends keep winning, so they're busy without him. That lack of attention, it triggered that nice, sweet, young, spoiled boy into a very, boy or girl, of course, into a very misled minded individual, a sociopath, because you gotta understand that once they craved attention so much, they got to a point where they're willing to hurt anyone just to get attention. And the spoiled brat is not really materialistic. They don't value material as much as they value attention. They want to get material for attention. This type has a weakness of vanity, as I mentioned earlier, that it's very easy to get into them. It's very easy to manipulate them. As much as they easily manipulate anyone. Listen to me. The hardest part about if you want to manipulate a sociopath, spoiled brat type, is to identify them because they're very good at hiding themselves. They're very good at camouflaging themselves. These guys are very, as much as I mentioned that they have egos and vanity, a lot of them develop the art of speaking. These guys can speak well, they can network, they can convince and persuade you so nicely, seduce you very nicely. So it's very hard to know to realize that they are sociopaths because they'll play this this social extrovert, I'm winning for everyone. They're good at playing that, but when the door closes and they're alone in that office, everyone knows who they really are. When the curtains close, man, it's hard to hide it. And so we see a pattern of these individuals constantly exposing themselves later on. And it's like, how or why do they keep experiencing their karma long after, the pain, the damage has already been done? Why has it taken so long, or why is it taking so long for this person to be punished for such unaligned moral ethics? And it's a very good question, but my most objective answer is just focus on what your karma is, focus on what your moral compass is headed towards, and let someone else experience what they are about to experience, because there's a law of cause and effect. You can't have this without that. It's not possible. And so when I'm asked how do you best deal with a sociopath, well, it's mindset. You don't deal with them. You don't really deal with them because they're so tricky. They're so tricky. They're two camouflages. They have a certain treatment for when you feed them their ego. They have a certain treatment when they feel like you are somehow superior, or you make them feel like they're not as hot as they think they are. As they make them talk. It's not even that they think they are. They want you to think they are. I don't think they even think they are. I don't think they even believe they are. They just want you to think so. They want you to believe so. That's their validation. And so when you deal with a sociopath, an open social, after you realize, okay, this person is clearly a sociopath, it's best to be very calculative around them. It's best to be logical and never emotional around them. Close that emotional shield, close that emotional door. Don't react. Don't express yourself emotionally. Don't be intuitively engaged in any way. Just be logical. Be data set. Just be very logical. Be straightforward with them. Very, very, very direct. And keep conversations short. Now, for relationships, I think sociopaths have relationships based off benefits. You know, their most successful relationships are based on simple benefits. And so it's a sticky situation because the female might be in love with the sociopath male that's attracted to a certain benefit, be it through network, if that she's the daughter of a judge and this dude is an MPA lawyer, and so he benefits from the network, he benefits from the connections through the daughter, and you can't just go up uh, uh to the female and tell her she should leave him. No, what's guaranteed is there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of avoidance of problems between the female and the male, such that she keeps hoping that things will change. She keeps hoping that this is just a phase, that she loves him so much that she can change this little problem, and it's very very sad. It's very sad because you get addicted to the sociopath energy. Once you're around the sociopath so much, you just get addicted to the way they make you feel pain. You get addicted to how they humiliate you. You get addicted to every form of they taking, and you're giving. It feels so natural. You feel guilty if you're not feeling drained, and so it's very sad. It's best to prevent than to cure yourselves from falling for a sociopath. Like I think sociopaths are also human. They're just harmful humans, and without prevention, without protection, just like a condom, you're doomed around a sociopath. And the worst thing you can do, the greatest mistake you can make, man, is just to make a sociopath. Is to raise a sociopath. And the spoiled brat is the worst kind of sociopath because they literally have no form of self assurance. They've never truly just worked on something for themselves. They've never truly just felt like they embrace themselves, and they never will. That's the fucked up part. They never will. This was a session by Dr. Mpilo, presented by BM7. Next episode will be on the second type of sociopath.